Hi again. I'm recording a sonnet a day inspired by Patrick Stewart's reading of a Shakespearean sonnet each day. I'll be reading a gospel sonnet by Ralph Erskine. We're now in Chapter 5, Section 5. The gospel of divine grace, the only means of converting sinners, and should be preached therefore most clearly, fully, and freely. I hope you enjoy. They ought, who royal grace's heralds be, to trumpet loud salvation, full and free, nor safely can to humor mortal pride, in silence evangelic mysteries hide. What heaven is pleased to give, dare we refuse, or under ground conceal, lest men abuse? Suppress the gospel flower upon pretense that some vile spiders may suck poison thence. Christ is a stumbling block. Shall we neglect to preach him, lest the blind should break their neck? That high he's for the fall of many set, as well as for the rise, must prove no let. No grain of precious truth must be suppressed, though reprobates should to their ruin rest. Shall heaven's coruscant lamp be dimmed that pays its daily tribute down in golden rays, because some, blinded with the blazing gleams, share not the pleasure of the lightning beams? Let those be hardened, petrified, and harmed. The rest are mollified and kindly warmed. A various savor flowers in grace's field, of life to some, of death to others yield. Must then the rose be veiled, the lily hid, the fragrant favor stifled? God forbid. The revelation of the gospel flower is still the organ famed of saving power. Most justly then are legal minds condemned, that of the glorious gospel are ashamed. For this, the divine arm, and only this, the power of God until salvation is. For therein is revealed, to screen from wrath, the righteousness of God from faith to faith. The happy change in guilty sinners' case they owe to free displays of sovereign grace, whose joyful tidings of amazing love the ministration of the Spirit prove, the glorious vent of the gospel news express, of God's free grace through Christ's full righteousness, is heaven's gay chariot where the Spirit bides, and in his conquering power triumphant rides. The gospel field is still the Spirit's soil, the golden pipe that bears the holy oil. The orb where he outshines the radiant sun, the silver channel where his graces run. Within the gospel banks his flowing tide of lightning quickening motion sweetly glide. Received ye the Spirit, Scripture saith, by legal works or by the word of faith. If by the gospel only, then let none dare to be wiser than the wisest one. We must, who freely get and freely give, the vital word that makes the dead to live. For even to sinners dead within our reach, we, in his living name, may most successful preach. The Spirit and the Scripture both agree, jointly, says Christ, to testify of me. The preacher, then, will from his text decline, that scorns to harmonize with this design. Press mortal duties to the last degree. Why not? But mind, lest we successless be. No light, no hope, no strength for duty spring, where Jesus is not prophet, priest, and king. No light to see the way, unless he teach, no joyful hope, save in his blood we reach. No strength, unless his royal arm he stretch. Then from our leading scope, how gross we fall, if like his name in every gospel call, we make not him the first, the last, the all. Our office is to bear the radiant torch of gospel light into the darkened porch of human understandings and display the joyous dawn of everlasting day, to draw the golden chariot of free grace, the darkened shades with shining rays to chase, till heaven's bright lamp on circling wheels be hurled, with sparkling grandeur round the dusky world, and thus to bring in thine mortal sight new life and immortality to light. We're charged to preach the gospel unconfined to every creature of the humankind, to call with tenders of salvation free all corners of the earth to come and see, and every sinner most excuseless make, by urging rich and poor to come and take. Ho, every one that thirsts is grace's call, direct to needy sinners great and small, not meaning those alone whose holy thirst denominates their souls already blessed. If only those were called, that none but saints, nor would the gospel suit the sinner's wants. But here the call does signally import sinners and thirsty souls of every sort, and mainly to their door the message brings, who yet are thirsting after empty things, who spend their means no living bread to buy, and pains for that which cannot satisfy. Such thirsty sinners are invited are, who vainly spend their money, thought, and care on passing shades, vile lust and trash so base, as yields the mortal soul no true solace. The call directs them, as they would be blessed, to choose a purer object of their thirst. All are invited by the joyful sound to drink who need, as does the parched ground, whose wide-mouthed clefts speak to the brazen sky, its passive thirst without an active cry. The gospel preacher, then with holy skill, must offer Christ to whosoever will, to sinners of all sorts that can be named, the blind, the lame, the poor, the halt, the maimed, not daring to restrict the extensive call, but opening wide the net to catch 'em all. No soul must be excluded that will come, nor right of access be confined to some, though none will come till conscious of their want. Yet right to come they have by sovereign grant, such right to Christ, his promise, and his grace, that all are damned who hear and don't embrace. So freely is the unbounded call dispensed, we therein find even sinners unconvinced, who know not they are naked, blind, and poor, counseled to buy or beg at Jesus' door, and take the glorious robe, eye salve, and golden store. This prize they are obliged by faith to win, else unbelief would never be their sin. Yes, gospel offers but a sham we make, if every sinner has not right to take. Be gospel heralds fortified from this, to trumpet grace, however the serpent hiss. Did hell's malicious mouth in dreadful shape 'gainst innocence itself malignant gape, then sacred truth's devoted vouchers may, for dire reproach their measures constant lay. With cruel calumny of old commenced, this sect will everywhere be spoke against, while to and fro he runs the earth across, whose name is Aldelphon Categoros. In spite of hell, be then our constant strife, to win the glorious Lamb, a virgin wife. Lord willing, I will see you next time. Thank you for listening.